Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
This is Happy Mike.
And today, Blind Fight Friday. So what do we do for Blind Fight Friday? It's a nice easy day for us. We're going to try to guess all this stuff, but basically it's whiskey against whiskey. We have 40 pairs in here. And Mike will randomly select two of them, and we'll try to guess what they are, but it's basically which whiskey tastes better. And some of these are suggestions by you guys. Some of these are something that I concocted. And some of these are from the beginning of when we started this channel, and we played a whole different game that I just paired together, and, it took like 5 hours to do when we switched it over to this game. So, we still have a few of them in there. We haven't seemed to find them yet. We've been doing this for a while.
I don't think we found
now,
it today either.
No, this does not look like something that came from the beginning of when we started the channel. They didn't look quite like this back then. So,
nope.
Again, we'll try to guess all this stuff. If it was a suggestion by one of you guys, I'll probably be running your name anytime soon. Pay no attention to what's going on over there. We'll start with glass number 1.
Getting a little edge.
Is that what it is? It doesn't smell very bad, though. This actually has a very nice nose.
It's not like in Maker's Land, but it's not disappointing.
No, right. But it's not like, oh, I smell glass. You know what I mean? Because there's been some that we've had that have been like that.
That might be the ones when we were over there.
Yeah.
But...
I was just going to complain. I forgot my glasses on the other side of the room, and they're right on my head.
It's a little bit of sweetness in there.
There was a sweetness.
But there was a different middle flavor.
There was. This was my first sip of the day, so it didn't strike me as hot either.
No, I was just going to say,
Okay.
I don't even know if we're at 100.
I'm kind of capping out at that. Like I'm thinking
it'd be a cap.
It was a very sweet 100, if that.
It was definitely sweet, and it had something different in the middle, and it didn't really have a punch.
Yeah, because it's not like a full-fledged caramel going on in the taste.
What is that middle? It might have a higher rye in it, though.
You don't even say that, though. There's almost a sugary, there's a rock candy texture to it. Like when you suck on a rock candy, you just got that sugar water in your mouth. I hear you when I just rolled that all over the place because I was trying to figure out what that flavor is. Maybe get a better idea when we come off of glass number 2. But it has a nice flavor, though. There was nothing off-putting. It didn't turn to like grass or anything.
Agree. There's something there that I should know that
maybe it'll come out more when we go to glass 2.
Scratch that BB around, but
yeah, no. I mean, to me, it was more of the. Other than that super sugary sweetness in the front, it was more of the traditional bourbon-esque flavors. Nothing strong, nothing out of the ordinary.
Definitely nothing strong.
Just not there's not a lot of complexity. It was just that straight whiskey flavor. You know what I'm saying?
It did give a little bit of an orgeat when I swished it, so that's why I would lean towards
this one, on the other hand, has a totally different nose.
It's probably more in a caramel land.
It's more into something. I'm not sure where I want to go with this one yet. Just on
it's darker.
It is definitely darker.
I had a little nut in the front of that one.
Total difference in taste.
They are totally different in taste.
This 2 has a way bigger viscosity.
I was going to say, this one sticks around longer.
Yeah, it was way more oily. It almost coated way better.
I would say there's probably less rye in this one as well, because it was spikier.
Total difference in flavor, though. I don't know what that flavor was yet on that first sip, but it's definitely...
way more bourbon-esque in 2 than 1.
I'll give you that. This is more brown bag bourbon, and then this is like one you might want to actually drink.
Wow,
you know what I'm saying? Like
it's
in
more
reference. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's like I'm going to get this one in me. There's not a lot of flavor, and this one's like
they
wait
may
a
not
minute.
appreciate that, but
like,
it's
no. I don't know what it is. It could be top shelf. Who the hell knows? But no, I mean it in not a total disrespectful way. Like this is one you're going to drink if you just want to drink it.
Yeah, the 2 is definitely into a nice bourbon.
It's bringing way more complexity.
Way more,
sure. Yeah,
and lasts longer. But I still don't think we're over 100. But it's definitely a better nose, way better nose, and flavor.
I'll be curious what this one is. Digging a hole to China. All right, we can knick-knack. Now, again, I ran a B-roll. You're going to see the thumbnails. You know exactly what we're drinking. We have no clue. I can't imagine 2 is going to fall short on this one. I think it's going to win, but I'm going to go back-to-back for a couple minutes and test them. But,
man, mint. I know we did quite a few ryes.
You're getting a mint?
No, I'm not.
Oh, whoa.
So, but I know there was a few that we did that we really didn't get a hint of a rye.
There's actually something else in 2, though, that I'm not sure. That's why I'm going to do a little head-to-head. See if something else
one didn't jump out even after.
No, one laid down like a scolded dog right there. Like one just went, it's shrinking.
There's barely heavy bourbon nose in that one.
Now, speaking of nut, I get a nut on the front of 1 right now. I didn't get that until I just came off of 2.
I'm with you. It was heavier.
Yep.
It was a heavier nut now. I had a huge sweetness the first time.
I certainly did too, but now I'm really getting nut presence off of 1.
It was weird because I got that off of 2, but not as strong. Let's see how.
No, coming back to 2. I mean, to 1 off of 2, it was like, whoa, that's nut. Kept saying I can't figure out the flavor. Coming off of 2, it definitely brings me to a nut.
I still get a nut too. I wonder if this is 2 bean products.
Could be.
But I don't recall. I think I'm
okay. So off of my nose on 2, I'm almost getting butterscotch. I'm starting to think maybe this is a Buffalo Trace product. Am I right? Well, I'm getting a butterscotch now.
We did tend to get a little bit of a nut on that as well. Yeah, but what did we do to? Because it's not really crazy proof.
I don't think either one of them are crazy proof, though.
That's what I mean. So then what would it be with Buffalo Trace?
I don't know.
Ted's had Eagle Rare, actually.
I don't know if it can be all the way down to 93, though. Whatever 2 is, coats like twice as much. Like there's way more viscosity. It clings on way longer. Doesn't drink hot at all, but that flavor just adheres to the inside of your mouth and stays there.
It definitely does stick around.
As far as drinkability-wise, that's bringing way more complexity because the flavor lasts.
Because you could sit back and just chill with that one, and because it does linger.
I could see 1 being like the Jim Beam single barrel, and then what do we have that could be like 107 proof or something? I don't
think
know.
It's that high?
No, I don't.
I don't know if
it
2's
could
that
be.
High.
It could be like I don't know what I put together, but 1 is bringing off a little bit of a nut flavor.
Although we did do a beam off though, didn't we? Not too long ago. I can't remember what they were.
We had like the Winter Reserve, and we had the single barrel. There's definitely a nutty presence on 1. It got way better because it was basically generic on the first sip, where I called it the brown bag. But it's not. That the actual
it is huge.
The actual nut in the sugary nut is actually making its way into the flavor profile now. It's not just generic bourbon anymore. It is bringing stuff. I'm not getting a huge oaky presence.
The nose isn't as crazy though.
No, there is a sugary, almost apricot-y. Like I'm almost getting a apricot in 2. Could this be 2 low proof ryes? What was originally butterscotch, now I'm almost getting these are changing by the second.
They are. We're winding down.
2 is almost bringing me an apricot. It doesn't matter. We don't have to know what these are. I'll be curious to see what they are. There's a good chance that 2 is a rye, though.
If it's a bourbon or a rye.
2's giving me that. Are you getting that?
Well,
where I was getting like the fruity butterscotch my fruit is like an apricot in it.
On both, I got a pretty good little numbness when I switched it. So then that generally brings me there because I know these aren't really proofy. So in order that it would either be a high rye bourbon or it's going to be.
I'll be curious to see what these are. These are actually both of these are legit. Like I was teasing 1 on saying it was a brown bag bourbon, but it's not.
I still think I like 2 better.
Oh, not even a question.
Okay.
Compared to the viscosity, the flavor profile, the length of hang time, and even just the finish on 2 is just far superior to whatever 1 might be. But 1 is definitely drinkable, and it's not as lacking in complexity as it was when. Yeah, because there is a nut coming in there. There was a sugary presence off the beginning.
It's still a nut in 2 too. So
I'm not getting a nut in 2, but I'm definitely getting a. I kind of get like a. The nose keeps changing because it's like a fruity butterscotch. So that's what made me think of
You
Buffalo
might even
Trace.
get a
But
little bit of fruit in one now.
all right, well, we definitely think that two is the winner
better.
in this one. So
Well,
let's see where we're at. This is 388.
and 3.
I'm gonna be right around there because
Is
this
that
isn't
an 8
that
or a
old.
2? 327 or 387?
387.
Oh yeah. Now that
It's not easy.
now I take the light out of it.
So that's interesting on that. Okay. So 387 and 388. That's what we said, right? So the winner
I'm
today
7.
is 388.
Yep.
So the 387
Mhm.
is a Remus High Rye Bourbon at 109 proof. We got it for $52. And that one I ended up killing that one. I really liked that one. And again, that's the high rye.
I'm
That
not
was-
really getting
was
107 out of this, though.
no, you should be getting 109. Did I say 107? It's 109
Whatever.
proof.
I know it was over 100, and I didn't said the whole time it wasn't, but
And the winner today, which brought the complexity and a flavor, would be a Weller Full Proof Bourbon at 114 proof. And that's certainly not drinking that hot either.
no.
We got that for $59.99. And I wanted to put them in because they were relatively close in flavor. And I just was loving the Remus High Rye. So I'm like, I just want to see where it goes with that.
It came around, honestly.
It did.
The nose
It did.
was mute to start, but
Mhm.
it did come around. But two is still better.
It's funny, the flavor came around too. We kept saying I don't know what the flavor is. I don't know what. There's a huge sugary presence to that, and it's very good. But then you do get like it's almost like one of them candied like pecans, as people like to say, or pecans, like we would say on there, where you have like that
Pecans.
because you get that little bit of a nut with the candied sugar in the front of it. That's what it kind of reminds me on that one. And I said I just want to throw it up against a Weller Full Proof, and I just wanted to see, everybody chases and chases and chases. In this case,
We actually got it for a decent price.
we got it for a great price, and that was the reason too. It was $52 and $59. So if you could steal
the
the
last
Weller
store
Full
pick,
Proof,
I think, was like 89 and 99. 89,
yeah,
I
they've
think
gone
I
up.
think it
This was a
89.
long time ago when we had
Yeah.
that one. I forget which store was at that price, but they have progressively gone up.
I just grabbed them.
Yeah.
Well, a while back, but
Was it at the 59? No.
Nope.
They're at like
It's like-
80
it
something.
was 89, I
Yeah, yeah.
believe.
No, they've gone up a lot. But that's where that fruity butterscotch is coming in because it definitely is bringing and viscosity was better.
it
So
was.
if you can get them in the same price range as like we did, the Full Proof is way better.
I'd
this
even
one,
say
in this
for that
case.
one, honestly, if you can get that close to the Booker's price around 100, you're not gonna. I
No.
don't think you'd be sad.
No. I agree.
The $59 days are obviously definitely way out of.
Yeah, no, that was
not
that was a great find on our point at that time. But those times have come and gone. But there's a lot of times like I'll throw it up against a Buffalo Trace product just to see. I just remember before this was emptied, I said with the Remus, I'm like, I really want to know, where does it land? And granted, that this is a higher proof, but it doesn't really drink it. Neither one of these. We were hovering around 100 at best, and that's why I said,
was at best.
is this a Jim Beam at 108? And you were like, nah, it can't be that high. And both of them are over that. Neither one of these drink hot.
They didn't.
And
But I
that's the
did say
good
there
part
was
about that.
probably a pretty good amount of rye in them because it did sparkle quite a bit in one. But
So, well, there you go. That's Blind Fight Friday. Again, I threw them in there. If there's a future Blind Fight Friday you want to see, again, leave a comment down below. I'll try to get them in there, and I'll write your name next to it. But that being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more.
Cheers.
Cheers.